Cinema back, another dish. How we doing out there? Good, great, yan, wonderful. As you see on your screen, your dial, however, you are unfortunately Why? Why are you joining me? Why do you keep making me do this? I don't want to do this anymore. Fuck, man. It's the worst podcast you could possibly listen to. In terms of content, in terms of how it's executed, quality. It is bar none, unless I have a guest on here, it is the worst podcast you could possibly listen to. It is. Like, all I do is promote. The only time I ever get into a movie anymore is if I'm talking to someone, because it feels like every time now I'm like, oh, this is who's releasing this. I probably should knock that off for a second, otherwise people are going to stop sending me shit. But the fact of the matter is, folks, I don't know who, this is a weird episode to bring this up on, but the end is near. The end is near for the Ellis Cinema Podcast. Thank fucking God. All right. As you see on your screen, your dial, however, you are joining me today. I do appreciate you as much as I talk shit. I do appreciate, I'm not talking shit about hating to do the show. I don't want to do it anymore. It takes too much time, no money, and I need to put my focus into more gratifying things instead of losing good things because of this stupid fucking podcast. My stepmother is an alien. My stepmother is an alien is what I'm going to briefly be talking about today. So first things first, I love this movie growing up. I used to watch it all the fucking time. I think it came out in 1988. And I had a run of poor stepmothers. I had a couple that were poor. Actually, just one specifically was really bad. But I can remember watching this, and this is no bullshit. I can remember watching this back in the day when I was a kid and thinking, man, I wish my stepmom was like that. Now, in this movie, it is very toxic masculinity stuff, like she's super hot and blah, blah, blah. But I just remember thinking, oh, man, I wish my stepmom was that cool. Fuck this bitch that I'm with right now. So, yeah, my stepmother is an alien, right? That isn't that the most fucking 80s sounding shit ever. Anyway, my stepmother is an alien, starring Dan Aykroyd, Kim Basinger, John Lovitz, and I believe her first film, Alyson Hannigan, Joseph Maher, and also I would assume one of his first, Seth Green. So obviously you know Dan Aykroyd from Ghostbusters. You know Kim Basinger from Batman, L.A. Confidential, Wayne's World. L.A. Confidential is so good. I need to rewatch that again. She was in The Nice Guys, one of my favorite movies in the past decade. Kim has been around a long time. And then, of course, John Lovitz, who has been around a long time himself, comedic actor. Believe it or not, my favorite John Lovitz movie, and he's not the star, but my favorite movie that John Lovitz is in is Loaded Weapon 1. National Lampoon. Nobody's heard of this fucking movie. National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1. They need to do a fucking Blu-ray. They need to do a Criterion release on Loaded Weapon 1. They won't. But we do need a fucking Blu-ray. Stop playing around. And then, of course, Alyson Hannigan and her first feature. Who is Alyson Hannigan? One Time at Band Camp, American Pie, How I Met Your Mother, Buffy. Fucking Alyson has been acting for a long time, mid-'80s, for a long, long time. Who else was in this? Joseph Maher, who's been in In and Out, Sister Act, Mars Attacks, IQ, just a whole shit. Batman, the animated series. Just a Funny Farm. You guys remember that one? Funny Farm with Chevy Chase. This was directed by Richard Benjamin. Hasn't directed a lot. He's actually more of an actor. In fact, he was in Ray Donovan recently, and a couple of other things. But some of the things that he did direct I thought was interesting. Just stuff where I felt like, I don't know. They were like, hey, we need somebody who is good with working with actors. So you know who we'll grab as an actor? Because he did stuff like Milk Money, Made in America, Downtown. Oh, shit. Just a lot of TV movies and stuff. But he's mostly known as an actor, Richard Benjamin. So I'm trying to think of what you may have seen Richard Benjamin in. No, maybe Deconstructing Harry. No, that's a little too old for this audience. Henry Poole is here. That's kind of an underrated one. So get this, there's 3 writers on this film, I believe. 3 writers on this film, and so it's Jericho Stone. What a cool name, Jericho Stone. That's totally a writer name. That can't be his real fucking name. Herschel Weingrod and Timothy Harris. It should be noted that Jericho Stone and Timothy Harris, I believe this is their only writing credit. My Stepmother is an Alien. Their only writing credit. And, the mind wanders. I wonder if, they were like, hey, this movie was shit. We're done with you now. But Herschel Weingrod, on the other hand, has written Trading Places, with fucking Eddie and Dan Aykroyd. He wrote Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. Apparently Kindergarten Cop 2. There's a Kindergarten Cop 2. I think I knew that, but it's hitting me right now. There's a fucking Kindergarten Cop 2. He wrote the original Space Jam. He wrote Pure Luck. I actually thought Pure Luck was a funny movie from the early 90s. I believe with Martin Short and I have to know. Who is it? Martin Short and Danny Glover, maybe? Nailed it. Martin Short and Danny Glover. Pure Luck. Just one of those old slapsticky 90s comedy. What else? Trading Places, Twins, Kindergarten Cop. So he wrote the original Kindergarten Cop, Space Jam. But yeah, so he's got some good ones on his. I mean, dude, say what you want, how cheesy Twins is or whatever, but like Twins is a fun movie. Same with Trading Places. It's just even Kindergarten Cop. Like, say what you will. But now that I'm like actually looking at this, so he writes minimal dialogue because we all know for an Arnold Schwarzenegger flick, you don't need to be writing obscene. And here's the thing: Arnold's smart as fuck, smarter than I'll ever be. It's just when it comes to, I've never seen Arnold go on long monologues. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it off the top, he's been in the game long enough. He knows how to do his thing. Let's start giving Arnold some meaty roles. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Like, if you saw fucking Arnold in like a Daniel Day-Lewis There Will Be Blood type drama, wouldn't that be kind of cool? It wouldn't. Well, hey, you can't knock it until you try it. Let's see Arnold in something completely fucking dramatic. I don't give a fuck how big he is. The fuck's that have to do with anything? How's he talking? How's he acting? Fuck. So funny enough, I also wanted to bring up who did the music, which was Alan Silvestri. So Back to the Future, Captain America, Avengers, Endgame. Yes, Alan Silvestri was responsible for arguably the most epic sequence in the history of film. Epic. I didn't say best. Just calm down. Epic score in the history of film. Ready Player One, Back to the Future. Dude, he's done so much. The Predator, Night of the Museum, Cosmos, Flight, G.I. Joe, The Wild, Polar Express, Van Helsing. Fuck, man. The Mummy Returns, Castaway. Jesus, he's just got, wow, Judge Dredd, so Forrest Gump, Blown Away, Grumpy Old Men, The Bodyguard, Death Becomes Her, Jesus. And then, of course, my favorite trilogy of all time, Back to the Future. There's no comparison. Don't come at me with your Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is strong, super strong. In fact, it would probably be somewhere in my 3 to 5 best trilogies as far as Lord of the Rings is concerned. But like to me, when I'm thinking about trilogies, there's Back to the Future, and then there's everything else. Like there's not even a fucking comparison. Dan Aykroyd, Kim Basinger, and John Lovitz star in this fish out of water comedy. It's not a fish out of water. How about a alien out of orbit? An alien out of their own galaxy. How about that? A fish out of water comedy with a sci-fi twist that questions whether a romance between two star-crossed lovers who are literally worlds apart can ever work. And you know, there's some heart to this film. You know, I think you should kind of ignore the 21% on Rotten Tomatoes. Ignore that 21% because there's some heart in here. When widowed astronomer Steve Mills inadvertently causes a gravitational disruption in deep space all the way to the clouds of Magellan, which is actually another galaxy that we'll never be able to explore. So it's like it's a galaxy outside of our galaxy, the clouds of Magellan. Disruption in deep space. A race of hyper-advanced alien life forms sends... Okay, let's back up. When widowed astronomer Steve Mills inadvertently causes a gravitational disruption in deep space, a race of hyper-advanced alien life forms sends one of their own to investigate. And she is disguised in the alluring human form of Celeste, played by Kim Basinger. Tasked with seducing the lovelorn Steve in a bid to gain access to his scientific research. Celeste finds herself falling for the man she's been sent to swindle. But they've not counted on Steve's young daughter, Jessie, played by Alyson Hannigan, who's none too thrilled by the prospect of a new mother, especially not one from another planet. It's not that she's very open to having a stepmother. In fact, she's very happy that her dad's fucking. Like when he comes downstairs and the hair is all out of whack and clearly he's been laid for the first time in 5 years, I believe that's how long it has been since his wife had died, she's very happy for him. But she sees some mysterious things coming and going from, we'll say, Celeste's purse. Yes, the purse is a character in its own in this movie, the purse. Funny and touching in equal measure, My Stepmother is an Alien is an offbeat and at times surprisingly risque. What? When is it risque? Yeah. A risque comedy that confirms the adage that what unites us is far greater than what divides us, even if what divides us happens to be an entire galaxy too, if we're keeping score at home. This Arrow video release has the brand new 2K restoration from the original camera negative, the original lossless 2.0 stereo audio, brand new audio commentary by Brian Reisman, and then one featurette on this bad boy, Cosmetic Encounters, directing My Stepmother is an Alien, a brand new interview with director Richard Benjamin, and he just basically talks about how the project came to be, casting Kim Basinger and Dan Aykroyd. And for those of you that don't know, Dan Aykroyd, big Alien guy. So I bet, and I know he's been an Alien guy for a long time. So no surprise that he was in this movie. And apparently he doesn't shy away about it. Like, you get him talking on it. I mean, he'll talk to anybody about him believing in UFOs and stuff. But yeah, dude, this movie... Oh, I forgot about the cinematography. It's always funny to me. You have these cinematographers, like... so for... My Stepmother is an Alien, it was Richard Kline, and he's done the 76 King Kong, Howard the Duck. What do we got here? Just so much good stuff. And it's just funny, like, to me at least, like when you see, like, I guess the best way to compare it would be like a Richard Deakins or something like that, who did like Blade Runner and shit like that. And then he's doing a rom-com. Like, that shit happens all the time. Like Hans Zimmer, composer, prime example. Like, he'll do fucking The Dark Knight Rises, and then he'll do fucking The Holiday with Jack Black and Cameron Diaz. That's a true story. And both excellent soundtracks. And whoever hates on The Holiday with Jack Black, Cameron Diaz, Jude Law, and somebody else, you're an idiot. That movie's pretty goddamn good. It's good for the soul. It makes short, chubby people feel like they can get the girl. Maybe that's the only reason I fucking identified with it, was because Jack Black gets the fucking girl. Anyway, yeah, so it's just funny how weird to me how stuff kind of comes about. Like, you know, you have him doing Richard Kline, the cinematographer for My Stepmother is an Alien, is doing King Kong one moment, and then he's doing fucking My Stepmother is an Alien the next moment. Anyway, this movie's pretty self-explanatory. Steve, played by Dan Aykroyd, he works for a government facility. He is one of the scientists, and he is trying to communicate with outer space by using one of the government facility's giant satellites. But at least in the early going, he is warned that if he breaks any more shit, he'll be fucking fired. And wouldn't you know it, right in the beginning of the film, he sends his message into the clouds of Magellan, which is the galaxy outside the galaxy, but he breaks all the shit in the process, and he promptly gets fired. And then when Kim Basinger, Celeste, comes into the picture, obviously, as we talked earlier, she is trying to swindle him. She wants to get some of his tech, wants to know some of his tech. How did you communicate with us this far away? And, of course, you know, the alien life forms are much more advanced than us. However, and they don't specifically state why, but apparently if they don't get this tech, this transmission that Steve has, their entire civilization, the alien civilization, is going to die. Right? So, funny story. Once Celeste, this is kind of a spoiler. It's not a spoiler because, I mean, this is 88. Like, it's called My Stepmother is an Alien, and it's done in 88. If you really need to be told how this movie ends, or if you really are shocked at how this movie ends, I don't want to know you. I don't want to know you, because this is about as formulaic as you could possibly make it, with just, you know, a little difference. Anyway, back to it's so funny to me that if we, the humans, don't give the aliens their tech, their whole civilization dies. Funny story, once they actually get the tech, they want to kill Earth. It's just, I mean, sometimes, like, you know, and you read stories, you know, and stuff. This one's no different. Like, this one turned out as a rom-com. Initially, it was a horror, and the first thing that I thought was Species, like with Natasha Henstridge. That's kind of like the first thing I thought it would be. Like, oh my! But then, like, here's the thing. This is 21% on Rotten Tomatoes, right? So, and I think the audience score is only 30%. So most people say not good. It's not good. I'll tell you right now, I would much rather see this movie as a rom-com than a horror flick. Could you imagine a horror flick called My Stepmother's an Alien, and she's just, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, that annoys me just to think about. You know? And I know, like, horror fans would be like, oh, that'd be fucking awesome. I was like, yeah, man, but there's a lot of horror films out there. Why can't we just have, like, a completely ABC formulaic fucking 88 rom-com? Because that's what this movie is. I mean, it's a rom-com. Like, there's one-liners peppered throughout, you know, singling out John Lovitz and his talent to be a smart aleck. And surprisingly enough, didn't give Dan Aykroyd, also a good comedic actor, a lot of comedy to play with in this. But, you know, yeah, I mean, if we're talking actors, why? I mean, John's just got one of them faces. John's just got one of them faces. Very hard to take serious, and I'm sure he probably hates it too. What else did I mention? I know the Bag comes to life, and the Bag's character's name is Bag. So, but her purse does some cool shit. Celeste's purse does some cool shit. I know, like, when they try to go back into the facility after Steve is fired, they ask for ID, and so basically her bag is, you know, supernatural. It just produces shit. So when the security guard's like, I need ID, like all of a sudden it starts spitting out every ID it could possibly imagine. In fact, the first sequence, so she shows up to this party when she first meets Steve, and she's coming on to him very hard. And her dress is a little stupid and awkward. And she asks Jess, like, do I look like an idiot? And she's like, kinda. And she's like, well, what should I wear? And she just hands Celeste a bunch of fashion magazines. She stuffs it into her purse, and then the purse spits out a dress from one of the magazines. I'm telling you, this movie's wild. This movie's fucking wild. I feel like there was another part, though, that I wanted to talk about how wild it was, because I was just like, this is so fucking weird. Like, this is such a weird... I mean, especially since you got to kind of get past, like, it is very toxically masculine. Like, I mean, the most of the movie is, like, everybody is infatuated with Kim Basinger. I don't know how to say her fucking name. Basinger. But anyway, like... And there's one line in particular, so yeah, we'll just do the dress thing. So she's about ready to take off her old dress right out there on the porch of this beach house and just get ass naked and put on the new dress. And Steve, Dan Aykroyd, stops her and he's like, no, you can't change here. Let's change in a more conventional place. And she's like, where? And he's like, how about the back seat of my car? Just like this. Man, dude, it's no wonder all of us, you know, that were 80s babies, 90s babies, all have this deconstructing to fucking do, dude. Like, maybe because I was never like that, and that's why it, like, hurts me to fucking hear sometimes. But, oh, man, you have that throughout the entirety of it. Now that I think about it, not a whole lot of black people in this one. Not a whole lot of black people in this one either. I don't know who I was talking to the other day, but I was like, man, you want to know the roughest part about going back and watching these older movies? Like, I mean, if you look at, like, the last 15 shows I've done, most of them are around the wheelhouse of late 60s, mid 80s. And it kind of, I don't know, like, I think my brain is officially starting to change because, like, not necessarily in a good way if you're watching films, but I have been watching these films going, man, there are no black people in this. This is enraging. This is enraging. And, you know, like, I always harp on people about that. Like, you can't hold a movie from the 50s or 60s, 70s, whatever. You can't hold a movie from that era to the cultural standards of 2022. So, but it's hard sometimes, man. It's hard because, I don't know, like, now I'm kind of, you know, you watch enough modern stuff and you're just, you know, people of all colors and all walks of life are in films now. And man, there's just a lot of white for a very, very long time. A lot of white for a long time. Not good. Not good. But yeah, this... I don't think that you could really hate on this film. I think this is I think it's actually, I don't know. I hesitate to say it's a good family picture because, like, nowadays I could see this one being weird for the family. Like, I would be curious to see, like, a family of 4, you know, mom, dad, 2 kids. I would be interested to see in younger ones, like, let's say late 20s parents, early 30s parents, and see what they would think about this film, because or in terms of it being a family film, because I know that there are some parts between Dan Aykroyd and Kim Basinger that are, you know, I mean, they're sexy but funny. Like, when she first, so she doesn't know Celeste doesn't know everything about this planet, but, like, when she first learns to kiss him, there's like 92 different kisses because she doesn't know how to do it. And the bag, the purse, actually puts a projector screen behind Steve's head so she can watch how to kiss. It's just a really wild and silly movie. There's all types of kissing: licking the face, a slap, quick kisses on eyeballs, and it's just a silly little film. But I would be interested into, or maybe it is the 30% audience score, and I just have a soft spot for it. That's very possible too. I have a lot of movies like that. One of my favorite creature features, if you will, is 100% the Monster Squad. And is Monster Squad the best monster movie ever made? I feel inclined to say probably not, but it's mine, just, because you have these types of movies, that have, comfort food. But I actually hadn't seen this one in fucking, 20, 30 years. And it was nice to go back. But the thing about it is I did not forget one. Sometimes, films that I had seen even 5-10 years ago, it's hard for me to remember them because my brain struggles in some facets these days. But this one I remember beat for beat. I remember every single moment of this film. And I was like, oh, this is fun. The transfer's cool. I don't know if we needed a 2K restoration of it, but whatever. I don't know if we needed the original lossless audio. Just give me the regular audio, bro. I keep telling you guys, just give me the regular audio. So for this, it's fine. A comedy movie, even a drama to a certain extent, if there's no even mild action pieces, I just prefer the Dolby Master. The DTS Master Audio or the Dolby HD or whatever. Doing the 2.0 on a re-release just kind of, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I guess if you were doing a re-release and you did some sort of funky thing with the sound, on a record or an old album, then I would understand it. But for movies, unless it's a comedy, if you're going to take the time to move forward with a re-release, just give us the goods, man. Give us the goods. Anyway, Arrow video release of My Stepmother is an Alien. I can't believe I'm talking about this on my show. This is great. My Stepmother is an Alien. Who'd have thought? If you'd have asked me last year that if I would be doing My Stepmother is an Alien at all on my show, I'd have laughed in your face. Actually, I would have been like, have you seen it? Anyway, yeah. So, Hella Cinema. My Stepmother is an Alien. Whew. I am going to go hard as long as I can until other life opportunities that have presented themselves finally take place. I will be embarking on a new adventure. No more fucking movies. That's not true. But I ain't going to talk about them, at least not for a while. Gonna have to find your shit content somewhere else. Ellis Cinema, Arrow Video, My Stepmother is an Alien. Available now. Also, you can stream this if you're not going to do the whole hard copy thing. You punk bitch. Ellis Cinema, My Stepmother is an Alien. Arrow Video release. Available now. We're gone.